up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. You guys know who I am. If this is your first time seeing this channel, please do me a huge favor and subscribe to this sports channel. As you guys can probably tell in my voice, I am not, feeling good right now. I'm a little, how can I put it? I'm a little hurt right now that the USC Trojans lost to the Utah Utes. It's disappointing, of course, as a USC fan. The final score was 47-24. They blew us out. And it's quite clear now that Utah has USC's number. I mean, they beat them twice. It's tough for any team to beat a team twice. It doesn't always happen that way, but it did for Utah. And, when you watch this game early, USC was dominant. They were dominant. They looked like they were going to run away with the game. It was all USC. And then Utah, the offense started to turn things on. And everything just spiraled out of control for the Trojans, unfortunately. It was just one of those nights where, things just didn't go their way, particularly in the second half. Utah controlled the second half. Utah never let up. They continued to fight to the very end. They were down in this game, and they just found a way to put points on the board and get back in the game. They were the more physical team. They were the more physical team in this game. And this was a game that USC needed to win. The Trojans really needed to win this game if they wanted to keep their playoff aspirations alive. They needed this game. Now, with a loss, they're not gonna be a playoff team. They're not. They're no longer in the college football playoff picture. They're no longer in the picture at all. They blew their chances with a loss tonight against Utah. And again, Utah was clearly the better team. Utah took a 27-17 lead into the fourth quarter. They just were the better team overall. Caleb Williams, man, he came out looking like the best quarterback on the night. Looked like he was going to be the star of the night. He entered this game as a heavy Heisman favorite. We all know that. And again, he was just leading his offense down the field, doing everything he can, but then he got banged up. You saw him visibly limping. He was battling with an apparent leg injury that had limited his mobility, so he couldn't be as explosive as he usually is. He couldn't, really run as effectively. Utah was able to put constant pressure on him. and the Trojans' offense had become a borderline non-functional. Like, they weren't able to really be as efficient as we've seen. You know, and so, it just was one of those nights where the tables completely turned for USC. It was a 21-0 run for Utah, which led to a 24-17 lead. And the Trojans just couldn't generate enough offense because, again, Utah was the more physical team. Cameron Rising was excellent. He made some big plays. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. And I feel like every time Cameron Rising responded, like this team was down, right, in the first half, and he just responded with a big play after big play after big play. You know what I'm saying? So, it was just one of those nights. They were able to seize momentum. And once they tied the game, I kind of knew that was a momentum swing, right? You kind of got the feeling that things were going to turn for the worse for USC. But it appeared that USC was going to, that they were going to run away with it. It really did. And it was headed for another classic finish, but this time it was not even that close of a game. It was not even that competitive of a game because, of course, Utah blew it out. They blew it out. It's disappointing. It really is disappointing. If you're a USC fan, I don't know. I know Ohio State gets back in now. Ohio State's gonna be one of the 4 teams to compete in the playoffs. No question about it. USC, they had to win this game if they wanted to be in the playoffs. That's a wrap. It's a done deal. They're not getting in the playoffs at all. Not after this. They're not getting in the playoffs after this one. After this loss, no way. They're not getting in the playoffs. It is what it is. Oh man, their playoff hopes are done. Their playoff hopes are done. It's too bad. It really is. I was hoping that this team can pull out the victory, but they couldn't. Utah was able to execute plays. They did things a lot better. They did things a lot better than what USC was able to do. This is heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking. If you're a Trojans fan, but the bottom line is this, guys. Utah has our number. That's just it is what it is. Utah has our number. And what more can you really say about it, Man, congratulations to Utah. Tough night for USC football fans. No question about that. It's a really really tough night. My question is this: do Caleb Williams win the Heisman Trophy or no? Does he still is he still your favorite to win the Heisman Trophy after tonight? I mean, I thought he won the award with the way he played against Notre Dame. I mean, it was a terrible job by the defense. If I'm going to place the blame on somebody, it's going to be the defense. And Utah, I mean, they came alive in the second quarter. And USC couldn't keep, you know, matching the blows that Utah was throwing at them. They just couldn't match the blows at all. So again, hats off to Utah. They played exceptionally well. They played exceptionally well. They played great football. It was complimentary football. And then they ran the ball really well too. Utah also ran the ball really well. And here's another thing about Utah. They never disappoint when it really matters. They don't. They never disappoint when it really matters. They always show up. Oh, excuse me. And I don't know if you want to say that USC's football look soft tonight. They couldn't block anybody on offense. They couldn't tackle anybody on defense. They missed a lot of tackles. Excuse me. And that's a recipe for disaster, particularly in a championship game, right? It's a real shame. Excuse me, something's got me going here. And I guess you can also say that USC now knows how it feels to lose excuse me, lose a huge game with playoff implications. Because they definitely lost a huge game with playoff implications. I mean, we hyped up this USC team so much, and look what happened. They lost. And a lot of people say it's because of Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley can never win the big game. He's always had great, excuse me, he's always had these high-powered offenses, but he's never really been able to put an emphasis on defense. Excuse me, something's got me going here. I don't know. You know, but Utah wins the game. USC gets throttled. It was an epic beatdown. It happens. No, it happens. I still think Caleb Williams, if not the best quarterback in the country, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. You can't take that away from the guy. You really can't. Subscribe to my channel, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow to talk about LeBron's comments on Jerry Jones. I'll talk a little bit about that. I want to dive into that tomorrow. Um, but I'll see you guys then. You guys take care. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thanks, everyone. Good night.